is our natural gait. We're not going to be changing, like we land a certain way because that's how our body needs to move, you know. With that said, there's little things that we can change that become habits based on like what we do and like posture and how we just kind of naturally move our feet. And sometimes we get used to like running, sometimes is we get in like ruts, like this is just how I do it, you know. And like I always tell her, like it's a science, like the running is really a science. Like it's wonderful that it's like easy that we can just kind of throw sneakers on and get out and run, but to do it effectively and like really efficiently, it's really a science, which is, you know, but both like how we calculate how we run, like how much is slower, how much is faster, and like how our body moves. So, which you'll see, like it's not just like kind of going out and run. And what happens is we do the same thing. Right,
guys, let's go be
right, which is, I mean, it will become like the things that we're gonna kind of shift a little bit, like really will become very rote free, but we get kind of stuck in our natural, like what we just kind of used to do. So, okay, so if it's okay, what I'm gonna do, I mean, I don't want anyone to feel like what they're doing is like wrong per se, and I don't want you to feel like on the spot. So
we've all watched each other run like 8 million times.
I don't call what I do running, so
we all critique ourselves all the time. Like you sent me that.
Right. And posture is not just standing here nice and straight. We carry our posture because of core and because of back. So strengthening core and back, but also, and we're going to talk about, you know, I don't want to get too ahead, but it's how we move our arms, because sometimes we're affected by posture when we're using our arms too much, if we're crossing over. So, but I don't want to give away any. I just okay, so let me just jot down. So I'm just gonna kind of make a little bit of note of what things that I see, just so I know, and then we're gonna talk, and then we're gonna do it again. Does anyone seriously need to warm up though? I don't want anyone to. You all right, Chad?
warming up, you know, I save all my energy for the actual deal. You know what I'm saying?
All right. You're what? No, just don't even pretend I am not here. Just enjoy the evening. Fresh air. Go ahead. Just enjoy.
What are you having them do right now?
They're just jogging because I'm watching and taking some notes. But as you guys are going, so you're going, there weren't as many things as the coming back. So if that helps, it was yes.
Good.
Okay. Great job. I know that was not easy to be like, so like, they're watching, she's watching me. Okay. So, I'm not pointing anyone out. We're gonna talk in general right now. Then I'm gonna have you do it again after some of the things. Okay, so as we said, the most important thing is posture. So even as we're standing here, I want you guys to over-exaggerate really good posture. Right? So
like,
it's shoulders, but right? Do you feel it? Like,
yeah, but it feels awkward.
it's gonna. So that's a really good point for most people. Really good posture, and good posture while running is going to feel really. You're almost gonna feel like you're leaning back, but you're not. So I want you to be really mindful of what it feels like. So you can lean yourself forward a little bit, punch your shoulders forward.
What, my normal?
Okay. most people don't have good posture. Okay, now I want you to square your shoulders back and put your body straight, okay? Now lean back and push your shoulders really back. Okay? Oh, I know, it's actually a really good stretch. Okay, and now come right to the center again and shoulders relaxed. Do you feel the difference? That's your good posture. It almost feels like your chest is out, right? That is how we want to feel when we're running. First of all, when our chest is open and out, that's how we get the most oxygen also. Okay, and we're going to be moving our arms. But in order to move our arms properly and effectively, this has to be open. Okay? When we are like this and we're running like this, we do this. And that is really wasteful of energy. Okay? So do that again. Go forward with your shoulders and lean forward. Okay, and now push them to the midline and have straight posture. You feel the difference? Make sure you're breathing when you do that, because sometimes we tend to hold our breath, which definitely doesn't help when we run. So one of the things I want you to practice is this like open, like really be mindful when we're walking around, like even if you're just in your house or supermarket, whatever, work, be like, posture. And it's this rotation of your shoulders. Like sometimes in order to find good posture, you have to lean forward and then be like, where is my midline? Where is that? Okay. Does that make sense? And it is going to feel really awkward because for the most part, we don't. Yeah. We do shoulders forward, especially if we're tense, especially if we're tired. And that is what happens when we run. We get tired. Okay? But even when we're really tired, we still have to have this shoulders back, chest out. Okay? And again, being able to maintain good posture comes from doing core. We can't maintain this if this isn't strong. So I'm going to send some core stuff, but that, that is, one of the most important things. And mindful of the good posture, it's straight above your feet. That helps also. So when you're practicing this, try and be completely on top of your feet. We can just see your toes. If we're leaning forward, I see too much of my foot here. If I'm leaning back, I don't see any of my foot. Being really right over your feet. You could almost see your toes.
There you go. Got it now.
Right. Does that make sense? That's straight up and down. Okay? Okay, now with the posture, one of the things that everyone does need to work on is arms. Okay? We're not even go to feet yet. This top part, we cannot do the right kind of light on our feet stuff if we're not straight up and down, if our posture isn't good, and if we're not doing the right arms. Okay? So the right arms, what we need to do is, and this is why it's all about the posture. If you notice too, I thought this would be really helpful. Google like some of like the best sprinters, like Usain Bolt. They are if you ever watch like 100-meter down, like the Olympic, the trials that were just the track and field or the Olympic, they are straight up and down. They lean their head right at that finish, but if you watch them, they are, completely vertical. It's really fast. They are not leaning forward, even doing that. Fastest man on earth could not be more up and down on top of those feet. Okay? And we'll talk about what the feet are doing. In order to have the correct arms, you have to have the good posture. Okay? So what the arms are doing is our arms, what we're going to do is you're going to pick an angle. Okay? Sometimes we do this, and the angles change. Okay? We're going to commit, we're going to stick to an angle. The angle is predominantly going to be 90 degrees. Okay? So if you find you're about 90, that's what's going to stay. When we move our arms when we run, it's not this. Okay? The movement comes from up here. The movement's going to be like this. Okay? So just do that in place. Run in place and just feels awkward, right?
Can't run in place correctly.
You're really killing this today, kid.
Okay, so we're just moving it from the top of our arms, right? Good.
I'm going up.
You're good.
I'm like, I don't even know how I'm standing at this point, so confused.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay, I want you to just do the arms now, like a robot. Being exactly good. Okay, you see how the angle stays. You're right. You're good. No, you're good. You're good. Just keep doing it. I want to close your eyes and just let it. You see? No, everyone's good. Is it feeling a little bit better?
Shoulder gets tired.
I can feel it. Yeah.
Don't go so high. Commit to your angle.
I still feel like I keep going.
A little bit. You are. You'll get used to it. More time. Relax this. Relax your
Pretend
hands.
you're uppercutting.
Yeah. Only with relaxed hands.
No, I
with
don't
relaxed
do
hands.
that kind of stuff.
Okay. So the difference would be this. When you see someone with, I'm exaggerating it, but when you're moving like this, okay? It's fluid. You see the difference? Mm-hmm. My 90 doesn't change much. Okay? Okay. And then, along with that, my 90 is not doing this. It's not even doing this. I'm keeping it, right? Let me see your 90s. And then just sway it. Good. Feel a little better? Now breathe when you do it. Make sure your shoulders are up. Nice and tall, above our feet.
I feel like I need a checklist now.
Right? I will.
My feet hurt.
No. So let's see. I want to see what are you leaning? Do it again. Let me see. If your feet are hurt, where are your feet hurting?
My other tendon is.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good. So put your feet a little bit closer. Bend your knees. Okay.
Are you too straight?
Better? Relax the hands. Just let it go. Keep that 90. Breathe. Shoulders back. That feels better, right? Okay, good. No, I'm glad.
I like the comic relief that the bikers are getting as they drive by.
I
They're like,
know.
what are they doing? They haven't figured out how to move their arms today.
They're like, is that some kind of Tai Chi?
Yeah. Right.
They are
Okay,
not
so
doing
see,
that
you
like
watch. See right here.
Uh-huh.
That is not a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's not going to be perfect because years of doing this, right? Keep it.
Am I going 90? Where am I going to 90?
No, you stay at 90.
It always stays 90.
Oh, I'm moving.
See?
Gotcha, I think.
Go ahead, you got it. Shoulders back a little. You got it. Doesn't have to go that high. All right. Does it feel a little better? How are you doing? Nice and relaxed, right? Okay. I want you to exaggerate it going across because I want you to feel the difference. Because I will say that most of you, if not all of you, do a bit of a cross thing. Okay, you feel this?
That's called survival.
Yes, right.
Trying to
This
get through
is
the
like,
water.
okay, this wastes a lot of energy. You also cannot have good posture when we're crossing our midline. Okay? This is far more efficient. You can breathe better. Oxygen will go elsewhere. This is open. And this helps you move forward. This does not. I mean, you're swimming.
I know, like, when I've done some of the longer races,
Mm-hmm.
I find, like, right in the straps
Yes.
right here,
Yes.
and in the middle of the back, it's so
Yes.
tight that then you feel like
Then-
you can't
yes,
open your chest.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? To breathe.
Exactly.
You
No,
know,
and
then you're like this, and you're like,
100%.
you know?
And that is because of
Because
this.
you're going across?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that is because of this.
Undo the bra. and the
Yes,
bra.
and that's what when you said it's your back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still, it's
I'm
not
out.
the T-back, so it's not like, it's not falling off, but it's just, it hurts.
We should not have to strip to feel good. When running,
I
Ellie.
have to go to the
Yes.
medical
We shouldn't
center.
have to decode. Yeah.
It gets painful.
Yes. So I want you to do this again because it's the last time you're going to do it. Okay? And now change it to this. Commit to your angle. Okay? And it's gonna be awkward because all of you were doing this. Yeah, it is a little more body. Don't go so high. Yep.
I know, I can't follow
Put your feet a little further together. No, it's not that. Our bodies, we have muscle memory for positive change and for not positive change, you know?
I think it's your elbow. Yeah,
It's your
not going
elbow.
back.
You gotta move this. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
I think it's also standing
Yes.
stationary.
We never, I mean, when do we stand?
Not natural.
Okay. So I won't make you do that anymore. That's 100% right. If you want, what I could do is video each one of you doing it so you can look at it and you can be like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay, but it's this. And it will become really fluid. Okay? It's this. And not high and not across. It's this. Where it's just an extension of what's happening. Okay? Does that make sense? Yeah. Relax your hands though. And I know you're concentrating on it, which is good. But I want to be fluid. Yeah. Okay. Commit when you're running, think that 90. Commit to my and if you you're like this, you're like, well, that's not 90. then change it. This is going to be about changing it as you do it. Okay? And I do want you guys to watch other runners and be like, oh, they're doing that cross thing. Like, it'll help you remember, and when you're doing it, like, do that checklist. But that's it. It's posture, side to side, and the movement comes from here. And that's what I want you, that's what I want, that's why it's harder right now, because you're using this. I want you to use this propels it. The upper body propels it. Yeah, see the difference?
Almost like skiing.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yes. And when we're doing this, the only difference with skiing is we are not moving our pelvis. With skiing, your whole body is, you're doing that. I think running is my thing, not skiing, but from what I've seen, the movement is not coming from this. Like sometimes, I'm gonna over exaggerate, you'll see people that are running and they're going like, their whole body is kind of moving with it. That's not what it, being really
You could have just asked me to run.
I don't mind. Finger hips staying over.
Exhibit A.
Yes, there should not be, your side to side should not be. That is, again, you're using energy that doesn't need to be used, that you could use, to maintain running longer without feeling tired. Okay? Okay, do you guys have questions about that? Okay, so what I want you to do before we go on to our feet, I want you to do that again. Being really mindful. Posture. Your angle, not across. Straight. Over your feet. Really good. Do it really slow if you need to. And just, I run to see like, almost over exaggeration with your arms. Just being really loose. You could hop it. I don't know why I just kind of hopped. But just this, okay? Just different than this, and just I want you to start thinking about it when you run, okay? Correct yourselves if you feel it. It's going to be a lot of self-correction. All right? Go ahead, just to the same spot. Having this open it takes work.
I've always ran. Even when I was in the army, when I run, I lean forward and go.
Yeah,
use my momentum to take me.
Yes, and that does not help with distance, though. No. That will definitely. You'll wind up. Yeah, I'm a big leaner too. So that's what we're gonna really. Again, efficient is straight up and down, as best we can. We all have our own body mechanics, but this is just. If you guys, Eric was saying, go in the mirror, to be able to check yourself and just kind of see what it looks like, so you could actually see it, and then you could, it'll feel right when you're doing it, not staring at yourself. Do you have any questions about that? Okay. Again,
actually, Gail,
yeah,
what's the end goal for your hands? Because I know some people are clenchers, some are totally open, some are relaxed.
So as relaxed as possible.
Okay.
Whenever we clench anything, it takes oxygen.
Okay.
Any tension is going to bring oxygen to that area, and when we are running, we need oxygen to flow. Right. We need it elsewhere. So as open, some people have a very straight, but I think almost like you're kind of holding water bottles or something, which actually brings me to a really good, something I wanted to bring up too. I know it's a pain in the ass sometimes when we run, we want our phones, we want waters, we want something. Don't hold anything. It throws our entire balance off. If you're running, holding a phone, or even being really mindful of having a phone on our arms, it throws that posture piece, that neck thing, but hold it, you don't realize, first of all, our phones are really heavy, even a water bottle, how much that'll throw off that posture, that rhythm.
What about the belts?
Belts are better, as long as it's kind of both sides.
Yeah.
We ever do anything, you have to do it to the other side.
Yeah.
I'm super, I just don't run with my phone, which is terrible, but I'm so tactile, I can't even deal with something touching me. But there are bras that have a pocket in the back. Yeah. That's about the only phone holder, even putting it in your pocket, it throws us off.
Get me one of those bras.
Yeah, you gotta get one of those bras.
I'm laughing at how many marathons I've run holding a water bottle the whole time. And then the next day I'm like, my
The
whole
side
back
hurts from
Why
your
is it-
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's always like one little
Yeah,
thing, 'cause
exactly.
It's the same hand. that
It's
holds
the
it.
same hand, and it, again, it's
You
all
put a water
about
bottle in them.
it's all about efficiency. And when we are not efficient, especially doing a 26.2 or a half or even anything, when we're expending that kind, a fast 5K. But the real estate of a marathon, you don't realize how much energy is wasted in, and how much it'll throw you off. Even in the back of pants, like it bangs on your tailbone, which is going to throw off your hips. Like those things, we don't realize how much of an effect they have. And I don't know exactly what the solution is. Mine is not having anything, which is probably not the best plan. But in terms of the foam, like fuel and stuff, do pockets, but just something that evens it out. Really try not to hold the water. I mean, obviously, if it's a matter of life and death, hold a water bottle if you need water. But it throws. I mean, you will. I wish I had one. I'll show you. Like, even for me, like how different my arms would look holding water bottle, and that's going to throw everything off. So, and again, like the name of the game is to be as efficient as possible, because over that real estate, you want every ounce of energy and efficiency and oxygen as possible. Okay. I know I gave you like a lot, but I want to give you one more takeaway. And then next time we'll do some drills to really like help, but I just want you to like be super mindful. These pieces will change so much. So this will, again, you watch like the sprinters, watch you, he's, like the fastest man on earth. Those arms, perfect. 90 degrees, relaxed, perfect. Okay. The other piece that's going to be like life running changing is how we move our feet, how we move our legs. So I like to classify it as like we either have sad runner feet or happy feet. And a lot of people have sad. So this is kind of sad running feet. And a lot of people do this.
Oh, that's me. 100%.
Those are sad feet, right? Those are really sad. Happy feet. I'm exaggerating, but pretty. Okay?
She wants us to bounce like a gazelle.
Well, I was going to ask a question about that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I'm annoying.
No,
just, like,
not
the
at
teacher
all.
man.
That's what this is.
What's the ideal place for you to like land on your foot, and do you want to go all the way through, or is it just...
So it's a really good question. So the short answer to that is ideally midfoot. The long answer to that is if you are a heel striker or toe striker and that's working for you and you've never had injuries or anything, then that's your natural gait. If it's not working for you, then we're going to kind of change it as best we can to be as midfoot as possible. The most important thing, not so much where you land, but how. Okay? So, we want buoyancy. We want his legs. And the way that we do that, so picture, like the wheels on a train. I almost said a choo-choo train. And how it, how like the wheels go like that. That's what we want. This is the over-exaggeration of what we want. Okay? Almost, how like all the drills that we do and drills we do with the kids or whatever, we'll do butt kicks, which is actually something that I'm gonna have you guys do next time, because there's a science to why we do the butt kicks, okay? Because the actual foot motion is like this that we want, like the train, okay? And it's almost up. Again, watch like world-class sprinters. Their legs, I mean, granted their legs are like as long as I am, but they almost kick their butts. Like literally their legs are so efficient. They're sprinting like that. So the motion is almost forward, up, and down, okay? It's this really circular kind of motion, and that's what gives the buoyancy. That's what gives the spring. You see? I'm over-exaggerating it, but... So what I want you guys to do, slowly is to just jog like that. Thinking of that train motion, I want your legs to go like, to do this as much as they can. Like that. Okay?
Could you do it not exaggerating how you would be running?
See how it's a spring? I'm landing right in front, but almost underneath my body. And it's a circular motion. My arms are not helping me really. And it's bouncing. Does that make sense? It's hard not to do it a little more exaggerated. So I want you to think like that. Just try that. I got you. Good.
I think for me is getting my knees up high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
It
don't,
is.
like I
Feel
do
it.
almost
That's
like
good. Good.
about this level. I don't get them up high enough.
Right, and that's exactly it. So you see how when I was doing it, my foot comes to almost, see where my foot comes?
Yeah.
My foot comes to almost where my knee is, right? So when you sprint, I'll show it to you as a sprint, because that's helpful. All right, ready? So when it looks like a sprint, my knee is coming higher, and my legs going back. So as a sprint, okay? See? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, I feel like it's my hips,
Yeah. I
like
was
right
actually
here,
gonna say that.
like to get them, up there.
Yes.
You know.
Yep. So, again, it does go back to strength training.
Hip flexor.
Hip flexor, clamshells. I couldn't do that if my pelvis and hips, this motion over and over, you're right. It was not, I couldn't maintain it without this being strong. So it is. So I want you to do it slowly, but really thinking about that train. And then do it a little over exaggerated. Also, it should be as on this plane, not like this, not out. You see? Good. Yeah.
So like everything is one line.
One line. One line. Exactly. Exactly. A little more back. Yeah. Good. That leg is higher. Is that stronger? Yeah. Your left side is higher. Yeah.
I'm a righty, which is weird.
Good. Yeah. Keep it straight. Don't. So all. You all right?
Well, because you look pretty straight down.
Yeah. That's okay. No, you're not on top of yourself. Give it some space. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. It's this. It's the angle. It's the angle. You could be out a little bit. I mean, as close as you can is most efficient. But it's more this and the angle. Yeah, there you go, Julie. And relax your hands. And breathe. You're not gonna fall. It feels like you might. Good.
I'm gonna try to put the other.
Yeah, exactly. Like, wait a second. What am I doing?
We're all gonna trip and fall like that.
I know. I should have had waivers, huh? Gail made me fall. I forgot how to walk. Okay. All right, just try it. I'm not gonna look this time. I'll look. You guys try it going out, and I'll only watch coming back. Okay? Okay, go ahead.
You want them going all the way down, or
Yeah.
just to the 20?
No, I have to do it on.
Nice. Oh, I'm not looking. Sorry. Okay, so much, so great, right? Good job. You got it, Julie.